Hey folks, and welcome back to another review on Jurassic Collectibles. This is one I've been looking forward to for a long time. This, as you can see, is the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus. What a gorgeous figure it is. You get a good look at the render of the Therizinosaurus there. Hammond Collection on the side. On the back, another pretty good look at the feathers on this figure, the paint deco, the eyes. This is one that looks awesome. And it says the Therizinosaurus slashes onto the scene when the Tyrannosaurus Rex and Giganotosaurus furiously face off in the Biosyn courtyard. After the Tyrannosaurus Rex makes a final push for dominance, the razor-sharp claws of the Therizinosaurus prove to be of assistance. And again, a good look at the Therizinosaurus on the side there. Jurassic World Dominion. Cool to see so many figures from Dominion in the Hammond Collection this year. We are going to cut this open and take a closer look at the Theri. And there you can see the figure in the packaging. Looks really great in that amber colour scheme. Feels especially fitting for creatures from Jurassic World Dominion. You can see it's held in place by a few elastic bands. We'll just snip these. Got to be careful to not get the paint of the figure while we're snipping them. I think that will do it. We'll just get this little one up here. And then the hands. And that is it. And the tail just back here. If we get one of these, we should be good to get the tail out. There we go. Oh wow, that tail is very rubbery. I just need to snip that. Wow. I was not expecting that. That's almost like a real feel. That's cool, man. Cool. So, Therizinosaurus tail in. We need to swivel it round a bit to line it up. Get the figure into an actual standing pose. Probably want these legs back a bit more. Yeah. Like that maybe. Maybe that will do it, maybe not. Oh, there's some cool paint apps on this figure I was not expecting straight off the bat. Okay, so that does it. So there you can see the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus. And guys, this thing is insane. It's tricky to stand, I am going to say that. I need to play around with it to get it to stand a bit better. You can see it's resting on its claw right now. But this thing is gorgeous. If we bring it closer, just take a look at these feathers, guys. The detail that is packed into them. There's sort of a lot of dry brushing in them. I'm not sure how well the camera will be picking that up, so I'm going to angle one of my lights a bit. There you go. There's just so much detail packed in, and what I really like is the way the blend into the skin that's sort of on the underbelly works really well there. You can see just how smooth that blending is. Now obviously this is the Hammond Collection, so we do get the painted toe claws as well, which is very nice. And what's interesting is the tail here feels like it's got a massive wire frame in it. Whether that will last well over time remains to be seen, but there is definitely a massive wire frame in that tail. And just getting the figure into sort of a standing pose, I suppose, is a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to give it a go. It's interesting, I've noticed on both this and one of the other figures I've reviewed recently, they don't tend to like ratchet into the same place. So you can see there, I've got the figure standing quite well, but the joints almost seem to lock in at different angles, which just makes it really difficult to get a balanced pose. But that does look really cool. You can see, bringing it back in closer, the paint apps that sort of took me by surprise are just here, where we've got this sort of dry brushing on the claws. I did not know that was there. I did not expect that. And you also have a lot of fading from like the inner arm. So you can see the inner arm just here has got all of the underbelly colour. The joints on the claws themselves are really nice. And you can see there, just that dry brushing on them makes them look so good. And those claws are individually articulated, so you can get some sort of cool poses of the ferry lashing out at people with its claws, which is what you want from a theropod like this. So body wise, really good stuff. The tail really cool. You can see just there how far along it comes. Got that nice curvature in it that I've just put in there, but equally you can straighten it out really easily. Actually, it feels like there's a couple of hidden joints in there, so you can straighten that out quite nicely. Now the neck, you can get down about that far, so I'd maybe like that to be able to come down a little bit further, but it's not awful. Actually, there we go, that's the pose. That is the pose we want, guys. So the issue I have with these figures is that sometimes it feels like the hinge joints at the ankles are a little bit loose. So you could see that they're just leaning forward a bit. It is very much on like a knife's edge, in terms of if you were to tweak it just a little bit, it would fall. But for what it is, it's holding its position very well, so I can't fault it too much. And let's bring that head in to take a look at. So the interesting choice Mattel made is to not make this blind like the ferry we see in Dominion. But you can see there those blues all around the sort of brow of the eye, and then dotted around just there. And then the mouth that actually opens to reveal teeth that are individually sculpted as well is just very nice. Very nice. I think there's a row, even teeth hidden in the upper jaw just there. And you can see with that light hitting the eye as well. That looks really cool. Really good stuff with this. In terms of the articulation that we get with this figure, the neck you can bend, the head is on a swivel, you've got the jaw articulation, ball joint at the shoulder, ball joint at the elbow, ball joint at the wrist, a ball joint and swivel at each of the claws. You've got the usual in and out swivel at the hip, you've got a ball joint at what would be the knee, ball joints here, and a ball joint down onto the ankle as well. The tail then has the attachment joint, and obviously you've got the wireframe tail as well. Guys, what a gorgeous figure. This version of the Therizinosaurus is available on Amazon at the moment. This really is, again, night and day compared to the general release that we've received. This is a gorgeous rendition of this animal. I'm really glad I picked this one up actually. I think the articulation here is quite dynamic. I am curious, can we... Now the big challenge as always with Hammond Collection figures is, can we get a one-footed walking pose? That actually feels like it's almost there. Let's... There you go! Wow, okay. So yeah, like I was saying, this is a really great figure. Nice paint apps, nice detail, good articulation. If you didn't get the first Therizinosaurus for whatever reason, pick this one up. And if you have got the first one but you like the Therizinosaurus, maybe it's time for an upgrade. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this closer look at the Hammond Collection Therizinosaurus. One thing I am going to touch on before we go is just down here. Could do with some paint on those claws, not the end of the world, but just something I spotted. Like I say, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Make sure to like, favourite and subscribe. And until the next one, take care and have a great week.